Well, a veteran has been dead for almost 2 weeks. His loved ones held a memorial service.
But they haven't been able to bury him in a military cemetery as he and his family wanted. The problem? Well, they couldn't prove his date of discharge. That is until 10 on Your Side's Andy Fox got involved. Andy?
Yeah, Nicole and Tom, we started piecing together what we did know. The question was, would that be enough to get Jim Powell buried in the Veterans Cemetery?
I can't say anything bad about Jim except he was too good.
That's what people said about Jim Powell.
House is quiet. I leave the TV on all the time. I don't even turn it off.
Jim Powell, an American veteran. You miss him.
I do. I really do. When you're married to somebody for 51 years, it's kind of hard to let go.
Jim's body has been at Sturtevant Funeral Home in Portsmouth since his June 12th death in limbo. You began the runaround.
I began to run around.
And what do you want us to do?
I want something done.
The family doesn't have Jim's date or details of his discharge that would qualify him to be buried here at the Albert Horton Memorial Veterans Cemetery in Suffolk.
There is no record. No
That's
record.
what you're concerned about.
There's no record at all. Not only for my husband, but for millions of veterans in this world.
No records for older vets like Jim because in 1973, an inferno burned up tens of thousands of records at the National Personnel Records Center in St. Louis. Here's what we do know about Jim Powell. He joined the Air Force in December 1952, that he was at Sampson Air Force Base in April 1953, back row, third from the right. We know he was stationed at Biggs Air Force Base, Texas, 1954, and we know he was discharged from the Air Force in 1957 or 58. We discovered Jim's service number in this letter and gave it to Burial Operations Manager Susan Ulrich at the Veterans Cemetery. Ulrich sent the information to St. Louis and made this prediction. Does he get buried here, you think?
Yes. It's just time consuming.
At 4:15, Ulrich told us Powell's discharge information was indeed burned in the fire. But they can confirm he was in the military, and Powell will be buried in the Veterans Cemetery. We called Patsy.
I think it's great. Thank you so much. I don't know what you did, but whatever. It helped. I've been fighting everybody, and nobody would do anything.
I was curious whether Jim Powell is the exception or the rule. Susan Ulrich tells us 75 to 80% of veterans do not have the documentation to authorize burial in the cemetery. Ulrich, who is very, very good at what she does, tells all vets to get a pre-application for interment so these issues are resolved before the time of death. And finally, Jim Powell will likely be buried Monday at 11 a.m., exactly where he wanted to be buried, at the Albert Horton Memorial Veterans Cemetery in Suffolk. In the newsroom, Andy Fox, 10 on Your Side.